Welcome back to Largs, one of Scotland's most beautiful seaside towns, and the fourth day of the 470 European Championship, and the first day of sun, no rain so far. Before it's time to race again, some preparations are necessary, more for some than others. For Sparks and Kohler from Britain, it would not be a good day as they dropped from 3rd overall to 8th, and that was also the case for Russia's Chaus and Gribanov. For Croatia's Fantella and Marinic, the day ahead would be a tough one, not an easy task if they wish to maintain their lead. First race 7 in the women's fleet, and Croatia's Ninčević and Zupan started on the committee boat end, with Britain's Vegulin and Ainsworth, as well as Germany's Bachmann and Panushka following very close. Other teams decided to tack and head to the right side. Italy's Comatar and Carrero and Testuz and Thilo from Switzerland were among them. Ultimately, the left side would prove to be the better choice. Consequently, it was Slovenia's Mrak and Cern and Freeman and Tomset, again from Britain, who were on top, leading the race. Their teammates Burnett and Stewart and the pair of Boehm and Goltzer were on their heels, however. And once again, it wasn't very clear which was the favourable side in the outer loop, as they hunted out the pressure on the course. Tough choices. Mrak and Cern's decision would not pay off in the end, and it was the British pair who'd score the bullet, with Bachmann and Panushka following in second place. However, they were close until the very end, with the Slovenians coming third. The last reach was really exciting, with a stronger wind and the boats flying down the track. When it came to the men's fleet, fierce battles were fought in both of today's races. Russia's Sheremetyev brothers were the most consistent team today, posting a 2-3, and a great race for the British team of Saxton and Mason too. The Croatians, Fantella and Marinic, on the other hand, had a black flag penalty. Let's check how things unfolded in the day's first race. Most of the boats were too close to the line at the start, and some of them actually started too early. Along with the Croatian were Britain's Sparks and Kohler, and Brackley and Hauser from Switzerland, and Germany's pair of Goertz and Vollmann. Then most boats headed left and sailed the shifts. The downwind mark of the inner loop was rounded first by the Russians, but the Germans as well as the Croatians were on their heels. The Croatians then decided to tack immediately after the mark. For another German team, Wagner and Baldwin, they couldn't do better than today's performance. France's Skocek and Nibu were also behind 10th place, but the French managed to redeem themselves and pulled quite a trick when pretty soon they got near the top spots. So the end of the race found Germany's Goertz and Vollmann cross the line first, only to discover they were over the line at the start. So the race win went to the French pair of Skocek and Nibu. The Croatians crossed in third, but also were scored a starting penalty. A few places behind them over the line were Sparks and Kohler, but it was another black flag starting penalty for them. Safe at the start and picking up an 8th place finish were Wagner and Baldwin from Germany, and Canada's Ramsey and Lee in 9th. Yet the second race would be a radically different story. This time the bullet was scored by the Greeks. Goertz and Vollmann were in second place, while the Russians came third, and with it climbed to third place in the overall ranking. Let's have one last look at the results at the end of day 4. With the Russians up into third place, second are Great Britain, Saxton and Mason, and the defending European champions Fantella and Marinic in first. In the women's fleet, Vegulin and Ainsworth remain in first place, Bachmann and Panushka are in second place, and the Slovenian Olympic team of Mrak and Cern in third, with these top 3 teams having established a significant points margin over the rest of the fleet. After 2 exciting races today, it's time for the teams to get some rest as they prepare for the final 3 days. The afternoon weather in Largs was wonderful, and so the seaside town can now be enjoyed. See you again tomorrow.